Hello, ladies and gentlemen, another episode of The Fast Lane, your podcast for success. I'm your host, Derek Lane. Thanks for joining me. Glad you can make it. And to all of my Fast Lane friends out there, and let's talk a little bit about presence of mind. Just knowing that you're living in more of an awoke environment, you start to see things around you that maybe you didn't see before. Understand that it's your job to keep your mind open about things, keep your mind aware of your surroundings, your people, but importantly as well, make sure that your mind is open to new ideas, to new creative processes, things that will stimulate you, things that will carry you down the path of success, your path of adventure, path of enlightenment. So that's what we do. I mean, that's why we're here, right? I mean, we want the most out of life. We are not the ones that are going to sit around and just wait for it to pass us by and then regret the life that we lived. That's just not us. We're not going to do that. So just remember that negative begets negative. Positive begets positive. Okay, learn to focus, stay engaged, and don't take your eye off the things that mean the most to you. Whether it's your success, whether it's your family, the nearest and dearest friends and relatives, the things that mean the most to you, make sure that you cherish and take care of those things in your life. Make sure that you can, okay? Make sure that your path of success is one of, maybe like a game of chess where you know that you have to strategize certain moves to get where you want to go. So it's up to you to learn how to play it and to be good at it. So whatever your endeavor is, whether it's sales, whether it's art, marketing, whatever it is, make sure that you hone your skills to be the best at who you are. If you're going to do something, do it the best way you know how. It may not be the most perfect way, and so what if somebody does it better or different? It's okay. You don't care. I don't care, because we know that we're enjoying ourselves just giving it what we've got in the creative process and growing and getting better all the time. That's what it's about, is the fact that we're growing, the fact that we have goals, we have mantras, and we choose to reinforce mantras, reinforce goals, share with like-minded people, be cautious around the naysayer. Just be prepared, and also make sure that you calculate your risk, okay? So what are you waiting for? What is it that you're waiting for? Listen, my friend, no one wants to help somebody that's not helping themselves. That's the way it's always been. That's the way it's always going to be. Reach out to people. Do something a little different. Talk to people. Engage in conversations you wouldn't normally have. Inquire about things you wouldn't normally inquire about. Open those doors. Open the doors of opportunity. Understand your motivation. Understand what is real. What's real for you? Just remember that freedom is a choice. So many people are prisoners of their self, and they live that every day. They live like prisoners, slaves to what they did yesterday and the day before, the day before. Don't be a slave to yourself or to others. When, we all have people we're responsible to, whether it's a boss or whether it is family. We owe these people something, whether it's not a fiduciary commitment or just being obsequious in nature. So make sure that you're treating those people with respect, out of respect for yourself as well. But you're not a slave to those people. You're there to help those people. And once those people understand that you are somewhat of a catalyst in their life as well, then you'll go much further, because they understand who you are and what your deeper meaning is. Make sure that you're, again, involved into your surroundings, your people, your community. It's so important. So important to be engaged. Hey, listen, I was kind of perusing around through some different things, and I ran across this thing called Randonauts. I think that's how it's pronounced, Randonauts. And there's actually an app on your phone. It's kind of silly, kind of goofy, but it does have a little bit of value, I think, because what it does, it creates an algorithm from where you are and identifies what they call voids or action spots, I think, and it allows you to go to these places that you wouldn't normally do. So what this thing does is allow you, I guess, for fun and games, to, and it could be a mile away, it could be 2 miles away. I don't, I'm still getting kind of used to it. But what it allows you to do is to take a look at your surroundings that you wouldn't normally do. And supposedly there's a little bit of, little mysticism, if you will, regarding the locations that the algorithm comes up with as far as what you can do or what you see and again relate to as an experience. So I thought I would mention that. I thought it might be fun if nobody's heard of that or done that. It could be some fun. You can look it up online. Again, there's apps for it. So we might get into that a little bit more later on. Just kind of food for thought out there. But I want to talk about the presence of mind in this episode. I want to talk about you understanding that once you focus on something and you get honed in on something, that is more powerful than you can ever imagine. And the problem is holding on to it and making sure and seeing it through. A lot of people have vision boards and they post up pictures of, a new Ferrari, a new Porsche, or a new, mansion, whatever it is, that could be, so far away from where you are right now. If you're driving, a Toyota Corolla, and you're knocking down, 40, 50 grand a year, look, that's what I'm talking about, having a game plan. It's great to have that goal, but I would encourage you to step goal, to increment those goals, to say, okay, I may upgrade my Corolla into, an Avalon or whatever it is, a nice entry level Lexus or what have you. Don't go crazy and do something silly and then regret it. Make sure that you're comfortable with the moves that you make, and hold on to the desire. Don't let that Porsche and that Ferrari go. Keep them there. But make sure that it's not your 6-month goal. It may be a 5-year goal, unless you're, close to it and whatever, obviously. But the power of setting goals, the power of focus, the presence of mind, it is paramount to your success. It is one avenue that you must take in order to see the gains in your life and the success journey that you're meant to be on. It is just as easy to lead a bad life as it is to lead a good. In fact, it's easier to lead a good life, because when you take the lazy route and you do some of the lazy things, and then maybe you're not paying your bills, and then stress comes into your life. It affects your health. I'm not a big proponent of saying, the old saying, hey, work hard, okay? Well, sometimes you have to. Sometimes, you got to work a little hard to kind of get where you want to be, but all the while, make sure you're working smart. You can work hard and smart at the same time. You don't always want to work hard. Sometimes you want to work smarter than you do harder. Sometimes you got to work harder than you do smarter. You just have to know. You have to feel it. You have to be intuitive and learn to allow your intuition to take place and to kind of autopilot your intentions and your goals and who you are. It's your subconscious that's kind of taken over to a point. So it's okay to do that. It's all right to allow your subconscious to kind of make some moves. But as long as it aligns with what your reality is and your focus is for your reality, your outcomes for your reality, it's okay to do that. It's all right to, again, to be aware of who you are, not just who other people think you are, but who you think you are. See, there's a difference there, because people have an image of themselves for themselves, and then they have an image of themselves for how they think other people see them. And it's okay to alter, tweak, change a little bit of who you are, and in fact, I really encourage it. The same person dictates the same motives, the same opportunities, the same failures as well as successes, but sometimes tweaking and changing when you know what doesn't work and have a better idea of what does work, and you become that person that goes for the changes of positive, and know that it's you and you're capable of doing it, and don't be afraid of what other people think. That is, again, it's going to be a shot in the arm for your success path. So always be aware and be very cognizant of you and your abilities. And again, always look to, mentors, look to the people that have been there, done that, and learn from those folks, because there's going to come a time when people are going to want to learn from you. They're going to ask you how you got here, what you did, do this, do that. And you can probably say, hey, I listened to the Fast Lane. But no, you tell them that you invested into yourself. You tell the people that you invested into yourself in reading, whatever type of reading you do. You're listening to audio. You went to seminars. You watch the right, videos and things of success. You surrounded yourself with the right people, the right type of friends, the right type of business partners, mentors, and the fact that you do have a mentor, and the fact that you do give back to your community and your family. Those are the things you're going to talk about. I promise you. You're not going to come up with something hokey. You're going to be real. And that's what it takes to be successful, is to be real. Is to understand that in this lifetime, you got one shot. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And why is it so scary? You need to sit down and write these things out for yourself. You need to sit down and have an honest conversation with yourself. And once again, I don't think I'm ever going to let a podcast go by without saying this. Pen and paper. Write your thoughts down. Write down your action plans. Write through your hand. Don't type it. Write it out. You can type it later, clean it up later, however you want. But make sure you write it, because that's the process, I promise you. But be honest with yourself and write it down. Write down what's holding you back. What you think it is. What other people think it is. What are you good at? What are your strengths? What other people think your strengths are. See, get it? You got an inner and outer, and you address both of them. Because you're going to take away the excuses. Oh, man, I didn't think about that. Maybe that's holding me back. No. Think about your outer appearance, your inner attitude, the whole thing, the whole package. Write it down. Write down your fears, what you're afraid of. Are you afraid of your own mortality? Are you afraid of success? Success comes with a lot of problems. Success comes with a lot of commitment, BS. You don't know that. Freedom is where you're going, okay? So let's make sure that your destination is freedom. When somebody says, where are you going? I'm going toward freedom. That's where I'm going. I don't know if you'll get there. I don't know if I'll get there. I know I'm freer now than I was, 10 years ago. God knows, 20 years ago. And freedom is a beautiful thing. Freedom of mind, freedom of spirit, the ability to do what you want, when you want, how you want. That's what we all strive for. So I want you to keep that presence of mind. I know I've probably talked about a lot of this stuff in other podcasts and stuff, and I just felt like that, I had this desire to kind of bring it around and maybe stress a little bit in this podcast, and maybe stress the fact that, you've got to keep on keeping on. You can't let down. You can't let go. You can't let somebody else stomp on your dream. It's yours and yours alone. You can share it, but it's still yours. Live it. You owe it to yourself to live your dream. You absolutely owe it to yourself to live your dream. No one else's. If somebody's telling you need to do this, need to do that, need to do this, whatever, okay, if it makes sense, but, go back to your intuition, your gut feeling. Do what's in your gut, all right? Make sure that you are true to yourself, true to your life. Look forward to getting older and knowing that the older I get, the more free I'm going to be. So with that, I think we've kind of covered it, or I have, and I hope that some of this stuff kind of hits for you. And, if I can make a couple of those syntax pop for you and